Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to Showers Antiquities preview for our auction number 6. This will take place on Wednesday evening, May 26th at 7 p.m. As you can see, our format here on our large board that we had done up on poster. It'll show you how to register live with Showers Antiquities Auctions. If you haven't done so already, we are looking to get all of your information as much as possible, actually, including a phone number, in order to be able to text you directly with information concerning our upcoming auctions. The one that we're going to have May 26th in 2 days. We're going to have 40 lots in that auction. That's up from our usual amount of 36. And we're going to have a totally different auction format, which should be to the benefit of everyone as we go forward. We're going to use what basically a new set of auction rules, which I will explain in more depth when we have the auction on May 26th at 7 p.m. I will explain it before the auction starts, but in that night, we're going to have a fixed price amount for each auction lot of $40. And what we're going to do tonight is lay out the items to show you exactly what we're going to be auctioning off on Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. With Showers Antiquities. We're going to start with lot number 1 and work our way through lot 40. As you can look on the screen there, you can see again how to register with our auctions. We're going to take that away shortly, but I want to explain some auction rules for the auction coming up on Wednesday evening. Each lot will be appropriately numbered in order, and we'll start with lot number 1 and proceed from there. Lots can be previewed per our online directions before the auction starts. So this preview that we're going to put up this evening will be pertaining to the May 26th auction. The required winning bid amount with each lot will be $40. Once you get to a point where you see in the items that I'm showing you that you would like to purchase it for $40, you can then come through and type in, very simply, the bidder response example would be, let's say it's lot number 1. I want it now for $40. What I will do is I'll show you all of the items available, and the first person to bid on that line item for $40 will get it. In many cases, I will add some material to the end of each lot in order to get someone to bid the $40 minimum bid amount, and we'll go from there. For example, the lots that we will be offering in these future auctions will consist of baseball cards, Victorian trade cards, postcards, wrappers from packs, non-sport cards, pinback buttons, miscellaneous ephemera, photos, greeting and holiday cards, match covers, smalls, pennants, die cuts, and much more. We definitely want you to recommend items of interest to us. And that's the way we will let it roll, and we'll go through that one lot at a time. If we're getting no interest in a particular lot, I will give notice that I may be ending this lot without a winner. Another fun part of the way we're going to do this particular type of auction is I may choose to add items at the end until a winning bidder declares they want to purchase the lot. As soon as someone says, I want to purchase the lot with the lot number beside it, which should be the lot that we're currently showing, hopefully, we will end the lot at that point, and you will get everything that we laid out there. The interesting part about this is if we do have multiple bidders in, you don't know when someone's going to say, I will take the lot as it stands right now. So you need to be able to put your bid in first in order to get it. If 2 people come in at approximately the same time, we're going to take the one that shows up on the computer screen first. The way that we can do something like this and have it be successful is that we're going to offer tremendous values where in many cases you can double, triple, or quadruple your money if you are out to resell things and you're a dealer. And the other way is if you are a collector, you will get unique and interesting collectibles at great prices. Again, I will clearly explain the auction rules before the start of the auction. I'll remind each of the new bidders that come in of the auction rules and where they can look at them. We also offer free domestic shipping with all lots. That does not go for outside of the United States shipping. The person winning the lot will have to pay the shipping for those. Right now, I'm going to begin by showing you the 40 lots that will be offered on Wednesday evening, May 6th at 7 p.m. And I'll do some explanations as we go along through them. Okay, lot number one, as we have it here, is going to be a series of vintage baseball cards, all sheeted up, anywhere from the 1950s into the 1970s, etc. This will be lot number one. And again, one of the assistants here will be taking photos of each lot as it stands, and we will run it from there. The example in this particular lot right here is we start the clock at 0 seconds and proceed forward to see how long it takes for someone to actually come in and win the lot. For example, on this lot of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sheets consisting of at least 54 cards with 9 cards per sheet, if someone comes in and says, I want to take lot number one at $40, the lot is immediately over. We put it aside and go from there. I will explain why this lot is a good purchase price. Obviously, we're selling 54 cards here, and they're going to be sold at under $1 a piece. So that alone tells you it's a good purchase price. If we don't have anyone come in and say they want this lot as such, I will then add some what we call teasers or extras within this particular category. So there'll be some other baseball cards. And then once I add those, again, the first person to ring in will get all of this plus what I added. We'll go from there. But lot number one is a series of vintage baseball cards, as you see. Reggie Jackson, Baltimore Orioles team cards, other cards from the 50s and 60s. We'll now put this away and go to lot number two for our preview, May 26th at 7 p.m. Lot number two is going to be sheets full of Victorian trade cards, circa 1880s into the very early 1900s. We're having some technical difficulties with my screen here, but not with the other screen, so I can see that they're all in there. This is lot number two, and you have a grouping of various Victorian trade cards. And based on what I've seen on online auctions, Victorian trade cards are quite popular, and that will be what's offered in lot number two. Lot number three, we're heading into all of these wonderful vintage non-sport cards ranging from the 1880s up into the 1990s. This is lot number three. We have 1880s racer cards all the way up to the Incredible Hulk of 1979 on a patch format in full color, to the Monkeys cards in 1966. That will be lot number three on Wednesday evening. Lot number four is a box full of miscellaneous paper ephemera, ranging from a pack of 50 tobacco cards to 2 unopened packs from the 1980s, to a bunch of football cards, the 1960s top coins, and this box of ephemera to a real photo of Native Americans on a stereo view, to original publication from 1898 concerning Admiral Dewey, a bunch of vintage non-sport wrappers, fishing regulations, vintage baseball stickers, vintage catalogs, vintage baseball cards, so many items in here. And on Wednesday night, we'll be offering those. We'll get rid of those at this time. But another example is if you see that and you're like, you know that that is a great purchase price of $40, as all our lots will be $40 purchases on Wednesday night. You can enter the message board by saying, I'll take that lot for $40, and we'll mail it to you with free shipping. Lot number 5 is back to vintage baseball cards. Many Hall of Famers. We have Stan the Man Musial right here, Johnny Bench, 1960 Stan Musial. Hall of Famer Leo DeRocher. This is 7 sheets of cards to include, and hopefully we have these numbered correctly here, but number 5 appears to have 7 sheets of cards. 1968 Topps Rod Carew, which in and of itself is worth more than $40. But again, back to Pete Rose, cards from the 1950s, 60s, and into the 70s. That will be lot number 5 on Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. Lot number 6 is back to another spectacular grouping of always popular Victorian trade cards. Lot number 6 with beautiful early die cuts. Again, we offer no reproductions of Showers Antiquities. These are original Victorian trade cards circa 1880s up to maybe 1910 with the backs and tack on these cards. That will be lot number 6 Wednesday evening. Lot number 7 is actually contains 36 vintage personally autographed, guaranteed to be authentic autographs of National Football League player cards. We have stars from ranging from 1971, the mid 1960s up until the 1980s and 90s. We will have 36 different autographed football cards. Lot number 8 is a series of non-sport cards. Again, 1910 Fables, Turkish Fables. An entire sheet full of those. Superheroes from the 80s and 90s. 1910 era Olympic athlete tobacco cards. Jungle chewing gum from the 1930s. Hassan Indians from the 1910 era. 1966 Monkeys cards. Star Trek, and so much more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sheets, approximately 44 different non-sport cards. You could purchase that immediately by saying that you will buy it now at $40. Great lot in lot number 9. We start off with Hank Aaron, 1964, Carl Yastrzemski, 1968, Pete Rose again, Reggie Jackson, Al Kaline, 1960, Hall of Famer Billy Williams, 1971. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pages to include the New York Yankees World Series in 1961 against the Cincinnati Reds on a 1962 Topps baseball card. 1951 Topps, the first ever issue of Topps baseball card. 7 sheets, that's 63 cards. You can buy them all for $40. Lot number 10, back to our third grouping of outstanding, colorful Victorian trade cards. We will lay these out for you. All of our photos can be found online prior to the auction. You're able to preview those and get a great idea of what you're in store for that evening. Singer Sewing Machine Birds, put out by the Singer Sewing Machine Company, circa 1890s, early 1900s. To Al style Victorian trade cards, and even mineral water advertising. So multiple sheets of Victorian trade cards with outstanding graphics could be all purchased for $40. Lot number 11 is our second miscellaneous ephemera grouping. We have vintage football cards, a vintage bread button, more 1970s, 1980s non-sport card unopened packs, Valentine's, 1960s Topps baseball coins, ink blotters, a grouping of more than 100 vintage tobacco cards, some 1900 Native American Indian stereo views, 2 of those, and much more paper. We're getting into wrappers. We're getting into early advertising from department stores that was never used, new old stock, multiple catalogs at the bottom, all can be purchased for $40. Wednesday evening, May 26th. We're also considering the possibility in the future of people leaving bids and actually purchasing the lot maybe before the auction even starts. But as for May 26th, we will want you to tune in and bid on those lots for sure. Lot number 12, another amazing selection of vintage non-sport cards, 1960s Monkeys, 1910 Panhandle Scrap Tobacco, 1960 Casper, turn of the century tobacco cards, all the way up to 1953 Topps Look and See Mark Twain, Presidents of the United States, Historic Fables by Turkey's Trophy Cigarettes, and so much more, all offered for $40. Lot number 13 will be yet another baseball card lot featuring numerous Hall of Famers and stars. We start out with the first sheet having Tony Perez, Reggie Jackson, Thurman Munson, and many others. We head into the second sheet, 1961 Topps Cincinnati Reds, 1957 cards, 1963 cards, 1957 again, 1966 baseball cards, and many others. You could purchase that batch right off the bat for $40. And if necessary, we'll, sweeten the pot, so to speak, with some more items in order to sell it all for $40. Remember, the first person to bid the $40 will get the item as we see it on the computer screen. Lot number 14, again, honored to show, privileged to show such great items, early Victorian trade cards with great advertising on them. Page after page of these things. Guess what? Everything I'm showing you here could be purchased right off the bat for $40 on Wednesday evening. More of the Singer Sewing Machine Birds. Page after page of Victorian trade cards, all for one price of only $40. Lot number 15 will be our second lot of vintage personally autographed signed football cards, 100% on the money. All of these cards were sent away to specific players and returned with a stamp addressed envelope signed by those players or either acquired in person. 27 different football cards. Lot number 15 coming up this Wednesday evening, May 26th at 7 p.m. Lot number 16, vintage non-sport cards to include 1880s vintage non-sport card tobacco cards put out by Gems of Beauty, W. Duke and Sons, Tiger Tobacco, many other ones, 1980s and 1990s non-sport cards. How about 1910 Turkey Red cigarettes, automobiles, 1914 Murad cigarette, athletes, turn of the century tobacco cards, Arm & Hammer baking soda cards, and back up into the 1970s and 80s with Elvis Presley and many more. Lot number 17 consists of yet another grouping of 7 pages of vintage baseball cards. Reggie Jackson, Mike Schmidt, Pete Rose, 1956 Topps cards, a complete sheet of 8 different. Another sheet with 9. 9 more. 9 more. 9 more with cards throughout the 1960s, and the 7th sheet of 9 cards, approximately 60 to 63 cards there. Lot number 18, outstanding early colorful graphics. They simply did it better back then. Lot number 18, Victorian trade cards, to include an amazing Price and Knickerbocker Seedsman catalog, Victorian trade card. One Victorian trade card after the other. Sarasota Flour, Golden Crown Soap, Michelin Tires advertisement with the world, and many others. That's lot number 18. That's half of our preview for coming up Wednesday evening. Let's hit the last 18 lots, starting now with lot number 19. Lot number 19 is a miscellaneous ephemera lot again. 100 tobacco cards, 1964 Topps baseball coins, more Native Americans on stereo views, circa late 1890s, 1900. We have a full set of Chicago Cubs baseball cards from 1961, unopened pack, wrappers, vintage match covers, vintage baseball stickers, original vintage postcards, unopened packs of cards, a great early booklet, numerous peppers, soda labels, lemon lime, birch beer, sarsaparilla throughout the years. And again, the catalogs at the bottom. All of this being sold for one price of $40. Each lot on Wednesday night, May 26th at 7 p.m. will be sold for $40. The first person to chime in, letting us know that you want the lot, will get it. Look at this amazing first sheet. Normally something like this would go for more than $40 by itself. 1910 non-sport tobacco cards and sport tobacco cards in here, as we see Olympic heroes, etc., Indians, all original American tobacco cards there. Star Trek, Incredible Hulk, Between the Acts cigarettes, 1910, Evel Knievel, more Evel Knievel, Hassan Indians, 1910, all the way up to 70s and 80s cards with Charlie's Angels, The Incredible Hulk, Ghost Whisperer, and much more. Lot number 21 is another lot, an outstanding lot of vintage baseball cards, to include a 1951 Topps card. We have 8 early large size Topps cards from anywhere from 1953 to 1956. We also have another 1951 Topps card. More cards, Topps from the 50s, 60s, and 70s, as you can see here, all being sold for one price of $40. Lot number 22, back to the very colorful and significant Victorian trade cards offered in the 1880s to roughly 1910, as I said previously. Arbuckle coffee cards, Zellner shoes. Amazing colorful graphics on these cards. How about a Victorian trade card with a woman inside the shell of a turtle? And another Victorian trade card featuring a lady from back in the day. All those being offered for one price of $40. Lot number 23 will be another lot of vintage autographed football cards, each one personally signed by the player featured on the card itself, to even coaches like Bobby Bowden, 1961 Fleer, American Football League player for the Dallas Texans, many others. Dan Reeves, Denver Broncos coach, numerous stars from the 50s, 60s, and 70s, all personally autographed, each card autographed by the player himself. Lot number 24 is a series of vintage non-sport cards. We start off by offering a $40 value in and of itself with 9 different 1950s Zorro Walt Disney original cards. We then go to 1914 Murad tobacco cards, Planet of the Apes cards. Again, all of these sheets can be purchased for one price of $40. Okay, then we go into looking at this a little further here. Addams Family cards, other tobacco cards, and Heroes in American History, circa 1910. Lot number 25 is, again, vintage baseball cards. The way we determine what lots we're going to put together for people is based on the feedback we received from our bidders and also from the items that we have seen selling thus far. We don't want to put up items that have no chance of selling at a great price of $40. We offer lots that you can double, triple, or quadruple your money on. Also more vintage baseball cards there, a large grouping of 1950s cards, many other stars, Hall of Famers throughout these groupings. Lot number 26 will be another spectacular lot of vintage Victorian trade cards. We have been asked by several people to have as many trade cards on as possible. We've heard your requests, and that's what we're going to do. George Washington and an Arbuckle's coffee card. Another George Washington, 3 owls in a tree. Multiple other pieces. Piano, trade cards, more trade cards, and even a die cut at the end of a witch riding a wagon with hay in it. Okay, lot number 27 will be our third or fourth, maybe our fourth vintage lot of ephemera. A lot of these are similar. I had extra things and I just kept putting them in the boxes to fill them up with great items that I have sold traditionally very well. In the past, I've gotten $35 or more just for the Chicago Cubs complete set from 1961 featuring their all-time greats like with Hack Wilson on top. Baseball Fleer stickers wrappers, a great collection of colorful match covers, advertising match covers, postcards, and more miniature catalogs, more miniature soda labels in here. Can all be bought immediately upon the start of the auction for $40. Lot number 28 is a great grouping of 1910 era tobacco cards all the way up to 1980s, maybe even 1990s. Highly desirable non-sport cards. Here's a 9-pocket sheet of tobacco cards from 1910 from 3 different sets. The Incredible Hulk in a patch. Star Wars cards. 1914 Murad cigarettes with athletes on them. 2 rock and roll stars of the late 1950s. And yet a 5th sheet. So right here we have a minimum of 45 cards being offered for one price of $40. If necessary, I'll repeat again. I will add some teasers to the end of the lot until the lot is sold, or we don't believe it's going to be sold. Either one. Reggie Jackson there on that sheet of cards. 8 cards from 1956 Topps. 1951 Topps baseball cards. More vintage baseball cards. More. As you see it right there, you could own this entire lot for $40. Lot number 30, as we head into our last 10 lots for the upcoming May 26th auction starting at 7 p.m., are Victorian trade cards. A man riding a donkey advertising Java coffee. 2 kids sitting on a fence advertising tobacco. More Arbuckle's cards and other Victorian trade cards. More sheets of the cards. More sheets of the cards. And yet one last sheet. Purchase price $40 Wednesday night. Lot number 31 will be another ephemera box. As you see it sitting here. More than, I guess, roughly 100 tobacco cards here. More Indian stereo views. A fantastic Charlie Chaplin booklet circa 1910 to 1920, featuring his laughs inside, the complete booklet of Charlie Chaplin's funny sayings, and so much more here as pictured from sports to non-sports, all offered for $40 by itself as one lot on Wednesday night. Lot number 32 is another magnificent lot of what appears to be roughly 45 vintage non-sport cards. A sheet full of Zorro cards from the 1950s, tobacco cards, monkeys cards from the 60s, more 60s and 70s material, and yet another sheet, all for one price of $40. Lot number 33, we have a Mickey Mantle baseball card in the middle, also picturing Don Newcomb, 1971 Willie McCovey, 1956 Topps baseball cards, 1951 Topps, 1971 Topps baseball cards, 57 Topps, more 57 Topps Cincinnati Reds baseball team, and much more. Lot number 34 is a magnificent grouping of quite a few Victorian trade cards circa 1880s. The Howe Scale Company, Arbuckles. We have Berry Brothers Paint and Varnish, Reliable Seeds, very colorful Victorian trade cards, a booklet entitled My Mother-in-Law from the 1880s, Heinz Pickle Girl, and other Victorian trade cards. You can purchase all of those for just $40. Lot number 35 is a grouping of 3 sheets full, plus another one right here, of vintage autographed baseball cards from what appears to be the 70s, 80s, and 90s, all signed by the player on the card. That's 28 different vintage autographed baseball cards. Lot number 36, vintage non-sport cards. As you can see them here, 1910 Cowboys, 1910 Flags of the World, 1960s Sugar Daddy cards. We have the Incredible Hulk. We have tobacco cards and gum cards, Star Trek cards, and much more. One group, one price, $40. Lot number 37, we're featuring a Hank Aaron, Willie Mays card in there, a 1971 Jim Palmer, a 1950s Frank Robinson baseball card, and much, much more in here. 1951 Topps cards, 1950s and 60s cards, all being sold in one lot. Lot number 38 will be our second to last lot of Victorian trade cards. In those Victorian trade cards, we have amazing, colorful examples of Native American Indians, Solace Tobacco, Arbuckle's Coffee, Ariosa Coffee, advertising many things, some of them embossed, Peerless Perline, and a great early angelic die cut, all for one price. Lot number 39, will be our last lot of non-sport cards for our Wednesday, May 26th auction. 9 Zorro cards, 3 Stooges cards, vintage 1960s movie-related cards, 80s and 90s material, 1950s Jesse James Look and See card. And finally, our last lot for the auction coming up in 2 nights on May 26th at 7 p.m. is a fantastic grouping of Victorian trade cards, some die cuts in here, early African-American William Clark & Co.'s Seed Company, and a couple of very large Victorian trade cards by Nestle Foods and Wilson Spice Company. That will conclude our preview of 40 lots coming up May 26th at 7 p.m. We will have all of that underway for you sharply after 7 p.m. And I will explain the rules of the auction, which are exceedingly simple. If you are the first buyer to come in and say that I will take the lot as pictured for $40, we will sell it to you and we will mail it to you free of shipping within the continental United States of America. That concludes this evening's preview for our May 26, 2021 auction starting at 7 p.m. Eastern, 2 days from today. We would love to have you here. We would like to get your updated information on our sheets here to include your phone numbers. We can send you direct text letting you know when we're going to have upcoming auctions, and invite you to be part of our collecting and selling family as much as we can possibly have you be. We thank you for your participation and for your bidding. We look forward to seeing you in 2 nights. Take care from Showers Antiquities.